Alright everybody, what's going on? It's Thundershot, and welcome to a Let's Play channel update video. I haven't done one of these in a minute, so I figured now would be a good time to crank one out, especially since we're gearing up for a lot of stuff. As you can tell, playthroughs have sort of died down lately. I'm going to get back to Chao Garden. Chao Garden's not dead, I just need to record it. Been dealing with a lot of stuff lately, so Chao Garden always falls to the wayside. You guys get a session, it dies for a couple weeks. You guys get a session, it dies for a couple weeks. It's just, that's been the cycle of Chao Garden since like the beginning of time. Chao Garden's not dead. Pokemon Glazed is almost completely finished at this point in time. It's going to be done uploading on Tuesday. What is today? Today's Sunday? Today's Sunday. So it's going to be done uploading in just a couple days. I'm also going to be leaving in just a couple days. I'll get more onto the Pokemon hype train later, but Glazed has been an amazing playthrough. Glazed is an amazing game. Had a shitload of fun with that, and like I said, I'll talk more about that later. Firewatch is done now. I mean, Prototype's been done. I feel like there was another game. Oh, Primal's dead. Primal's dead. It wasn't getting views on YouTube. It wasn't doing well on stream. I kind of missed the Far Cry Primal hype train a little bit when my appendix got taken out, so that's just something that I got to deal with. But Primal's gone. It might make a return later as a stream-only game, but I'm probably never going to upload it to a Let's Play channel. So keep an eye on my Twitch. Past broadcasts are currently unlocked for any future playthroughs that I do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stream it. I'm going to leave past broadcasts on, but then I'm going to download the past broadcast as soon as the stream's over and then delete that particular stream. So any streams that are going to make it to YouTube, any streams that are going to go on YouTube, will be deleted from the Twitch past broadcast. That way they can be seen on YouTube in their proper parts, in the right order and everything. But everything else that's stream only is still going to remain stream only. A lot of people missed out on the Fallout 4 live streams because that was happening at the same time. Past broadcasts were locked because of Pokemon Glazed. But that's all. I've found a way around that. It took a little bit, but I found a work around that. We should be completely good to go in that regard. As far as future playthroughs go, I really wanted to start up Ori and the Blind Forest very soon. It was a playthrough that I tried to do on the main channel a while back. I streamed it right when it came out. It was super awesome. It's a fantastic game. I tried to do it on the main channel a while back, but it got content claimed by Microsoft because of the music in the background. But since then, the people who work at Ori and the Blind Forest have managed a workaround, or they found a solution with Microsoft, and Microsoft doesn't automatically claim your videos. I tested it the other night, and I didn't get content claims. So Ori and the Blind Forest playthrough is possible. However, I don't want to do it immediately because they're launching the definitive edition soon. I guess that just means it's still the same game, but they add a few new parts and they give you a few new abilities. I'm not 100% sure what to expect. It's currently out on Xbox One, but for whatever reason, it got pushed back to PC. I don't own Ori and the Blind Forest on Xbox One, and it doesn't run nearly as smoothly on the Xbox One, so I'm not going to do a playthrough on the Xbox One, but I need to wait a little bit. I'm guessing it'll be about a month or so. It was supposed to release on Xbox and PC at the same time, but PC's got pushed back to an unknown date. So I'm assuming it'll be a month or so, maybe more, before Ori and the Blind Forest gets released. So I need another buffer playthrough. I'm going to call it a buffer playthrough, but I need another playthrough to hold me over while I wait for Ori. And I had a playthrough I was going to do after Ori, but I might as well, hold on. Might as well bump it up to before Ori. I think starting tonight, if not tomorrow night, we're going to start a Mirror's Edge playthrough. Mirror's Edge is it's the story mode's only like 6 hours or so. It's a PlayStation 3 game. They're coming out with a Mirror's Edge 2 relatively soon. I think it's going to be a prequel. But to kind of prep for that, Mirror's Edge is a really good game. It's about free running and gun shooting, and just it's going to be super solid. I have done a playthrough of it before. I think I've done, well, no, I take that back. I might have done a Twitch playthrough a long time ago. I don't remember. It's been so long. But I'm looking forward to Mirror's Edge. I'm looking forward to sharing that game with you guys. It's going to be super sweet. On top of that, Pokemon. I want to get back into Pokemon hacks, but in just a second. First, I want to bring up, are there any new games coming out in the near future that you guys have kept an eye on? I've kind of kept an eye on myself, but nothing's really stuck out to me that you guys wouldn't mind seeing a playthrough of. I want to catch a new game as it comes out and try to stream it and upload it. I think it would be cool, but the games have been kind of dead, at least in my genre, at least in my area. Games have kind of been dead for me as of late, so any games that have not released yet but are going to release very soon or soonish within the next couple weeks or so, if you want me to keep an eye on, because I would love to pick up a new game and start playing it and streaming it for you guys and see how all that goes. But Pokemon hacks. The last half of this video is just going to be me talking about Pokemon hacks. If you have no interest in that, feel free to click off now. However, if you do have interest in that, there's going to be a massive straw poll in the description down below. I'm about to read off a list of Pokemon hacks that were linked to me by Sacred Fire Negro. I talked with him about it. Sacred gave me an entire list of completed Pokemon hacks that kind of meet my small criteria. I have a list of things that I want in a Pokemon hack. Number one, I don't want the Pokemon hack to be insanely hard like Snakewood was, because that was just bullshit to a certain level. I don't want made-up Pokemon like Snakewood had, because the zombie Pokemon was a good idea, but his made-up Pokemon were absolute garbage. I don't have a lot of experience at Pokemon hacks, but Sacred gave me a list of good hacks, completed hacks that we can play in full now, and I'm going to read them off to you. Once again, there's going to be a massive straw poll link in the description down below to every single one of these Pokemon hacks, as well as a link so you can read more up on yourself. I'm going to give you brief descriptions of all these hacks so you get a rough idea of what's going on. But then to see pictures, if I don't put them on screen, to see pictures of each individual hack as it's shown up here, you can check out the links. It's got pictures, it's got descriptions, it's got people giving their ratings and what they thought of it and all these crazy things. It's going to be another hack similar to Glazed. Glazed is going to be the new standard for me. I'm pretty much going to compare any hack I play to Glazed from here on out. But I'm just going to kind of go down the line of Pokemon hacks that stuck out to me. If your favorite Pokemon hack isn't on this list, mention it in the comment section down below, but please vote in the straw poll. You can also vote in the comment section down below if you want to, but vote in the straw poll for this because that's going to be important. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through a list of hacks. I might have had an awkward cut there. I got interrupted. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to go through a list of hacks. All the links to these, again, will be in the description down below, along with the massive straw poll, where after I kind of explain these to you, you check out the links for yourself. You can vote on which hack you would want to see the most next. I'm going to try, there's a lot of Gen 3 hacks, and it's because Gen 3 is the easiest hack to do. I kind of wanted to steer clear of Gen 3 if at all possible, but it just looks like that's the way to go. However, not every hack mentioned here will be Gen 3, which is good. Mainly, I'm against Gen 3 because the full restore spam and because of it's got my least favorite music out of all the generations that I've played. But if Gen 3 is the easy one to hack, it's the easy one to hack. Anyways, here's a short summary of the list of everything that we got here. Pokemon Ruby Destiny, your brother calls upon you and your mother. This is, by the way, Pokemon Ruby Destiny has 3 parts. They're working on a 4th one now, and I believe the second part is a mystery dungeon game. I'm not sure entirely, but they're all completed games in their own rights, I believe. So Pokemon Ruby Destiny 1 is the one I'd be focusing on. If I really liked it, I would probably play Ruby Destiny, another hack or two, come back, play Ruby Destiny 2, another hack or two, come back. I mean, just slowly. I wouldn't knock them all out in a row. So if you're voting for Ruby Destiny, you're just voting for the first one, not the entire series necessarily, at least not right away. Anyways, the story is your brother tells you and your mother to come live with him in a whole new Johto region. It's a whole new region. That's a big plus for me. Where he's the gym leader, and then other than that, it's like classic Pokemon story stuff. There's a new region. You're fighting against 2 teams, Royal Darkness and some other team. There's some shit going on with the Time Warp. This one has Baby Lugia and Shadow Lugia obtainable, which is super cool. On top of that, this one also has all legendaries in a similar fashion the way that Glaze did, which is really cool. I don't want to take up too much time on this because I have a lot of hacks, but if you want to read more for yourself, I have all the links to every hack in the description down below. Or I should at least. Moving on to my next hack. Pokemon Normal version revolves around Regigigas in the normal type. There's also some kind of continental drift going on. I'm assuming that means lots of earthquakes and the way that the world's shifting and whatnot. Professor Oak shows up to study it. It actually has a pretty sweet story mode. Apparently, your starter in this game is an Eevee, and it's just an Eevee, which is fine by me. Eevee's kind of a cool one to start with that you've never really got to do that with before. There's going to be 2 main villains that you're going to be fighting, Frozen and Inferno, and it seems like a pretty well thought out hack. Just go ahead and just check it out. It has a whole giant list of features here, including Gen 4 physical special split, which is really good. Got no music. It's got daytime and nighttime. It's got its own little special twist to Regigigas. I think it's got deletable HMs, which is really good, and reusable TMs and all this crazy stuff. Just go ahead and check it out. It's got an entire list of features, but as far as if I had to do a Gen 3 hack, normal version looks pretty decent because it looks so different from Glazed, but it still looks really awesome, which is it's cool. It's what I was looking for. Moving on to the next hack is one that I might not put on the list. I'm not sure. It's a really popular one, though. It's called Flora Sky. It's got a lot of good reviews. A lot of people really like it. My main problem with it is that I did a Gen 3 playthrough not too terribly long ago, and it's almost less of a hack. Well, like it's a hack, don't get me wrong, but it's more of like a modified Gen 3. You play as the guy from Emerald. You're in the Hoenn region. There's still Team Aqua and Team Magma. The only difference is that they've kind of added a Gen 4 twist to it, where Gen 4 Pokemon are in the game and kind of fucking the world up a bit. And Giratina is there, and he's the main bad guy. I might put it on the list. I might not put it on the list to choose from. I had the tab open, but the more I look at Flora Sky, the more I'm like, I want to play that, but not right now. I've done Gen 3. I did a Pokemon Emerald playthrough very recently. Flora Sky doesn't look crazy different, but it looks okay. Just later, let the Gen 3 kind of rub off me. Let the Pokemon Emerald rub off me a little bit. Maybe I want to come back and do this at a later point in time. I don't know. I might put it on there just because if you guys really, really love it and you guys really, really want to see it, it'll be there. Next, we're going to talk about Pokemon Gaia version, or Gaia version, I'm not sure. Sort of similar to Pokemon normal version that we were looking at earlier. A bunch of earthquakes are screwing up the landscape and everything's going wrong, and Professor Redwood, who is the professor for that region, has showed up, and he seeks out the help of new Pokemon trainers with flair for adventure, gives them their own starter Pokemon. It appears to be in an entirely new region, which is awesome. Apparently it's known as the Orbitus region, excuse me. Some features on this one, again, physical special split, which is super needed. Generation 6 style captured experience system, meaning when I catch Pokemon, I still gain experience. Infinite TMs, which I think just means reusable TMs, which is super awesome. Generation 4 through 6 Pokemon moves, items, and abilities, so it's super updated to Gen 6 stuff. I'm not too familiar with Gen 4 to 6 Pokemon. People who don't like Gen 5 or 6 Pokemon especially might not like this hack, so if you don't vote for that one, I understand. This one includes Mega Evolutions. It also includes Gen 1 through 3 Pokemon, by the way. It's 4 through 6 Pokemon moves, items, and abilities, but at least Pokemon from Generations 1, 2, and 3 are still there. I don't know about all of them. I don't know how that works. Mega Evolutions, updated type chart for fairy moves and steel type Pokemon, and then yeah, Dark and Ghost, and like they've updated all the types and how they work. New music, bug catching contest. Again, you can check out all the features and everything for each individual version. That's what I recommend. If you have the time on your hands, and if you're not sure about these hacks but you still want to vote, you still want to have an impact, go and click on the link to all these hacks, read up on them, see what you think about them, then vote in the straw poll. But to move on, this is the one that I'm kind of leaning towards, and if it's not what you guys want to see, I don't want to play it, you know what I mean? But this is the one that I personally am leaning towards. If it doesn't win, I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to do what you guys vote for, because I would be happy with any of these, or they wouldn't be on the list. But the one that I'm leaning for is Pokemon Bronze version, and it's a Pokemon Gold hack, alright? And it looks pretty sweet. Some of the sprites look kind of wonky, but you can tell like he made them himself. Some of the sprites look kind of wonky, but it's a Pokemon Gold hack, so the music is going to be absolutely fucking phenomenal. It's going to be a hack of my favorite generation of all time, which I've never seen played or played myself before. It just looks pretty sick all the way around. The starters are from Red, Yellow, and Gold. The starters are actually probably my favorite starters I've ever seen in any game. You get the choice of Charmander, Totodile, who I might rather be a Squirtle, but we'll go with it, and Pichu. And that's kind of awesome. Even though Pichu's super weak, I could get a Raichu, or something that evolves into a Raichu as my starter, which is super cool, and I think that would be neat. The story is basically your generic Pokemon affair. It's set right after the events of Gold. You leave home, get a Pokemon from a professor, defeat gym leaders, defeat the Elite Four with a group of antagonists, battle all along the way, and a rival. That's how I wanted to make it, just a regular Pokemon game. So this is just a standard remake of Gen 2. It's like, imagine we got another Gold, Crystal, Silver. I get excited for that because I love Gen 2 so much. I'm sorry, it's just the way I am. The region, for lack of a better name, I can't think, it's called Koto, which is like Kanto and Johto. He just kind of threw the names together. Which sits southwest of Kanto, which is currently connected via an underground pass, so you can go back to Kanto, but I don't think Johto exists, but this map looks a lot like Johto, so we'll see. It has 8 towns, some new things and features, and more varied environments, such as patchy grass Pokemon that are less likely to appear in. Trees and paths have fade on, blah, blah, blah. He's got some new features here, but he's got a short list. It's a simple game. It's a simple, I mean, you know, and I like it. I like it. It's just, it was weird. Both sides of my face stitched at the same time. I don't know, I'm drawn to this. I'm drawn to the simplicity, I'm drawn to the fact that it's Gen 2, and I haven't played a Gen 2 game in a hot minute, and that's probably the worst part of it, is I haven't played Gen 2 in a hot minute. I'm itching for Gen 2. He only includes the original 251 Pokemon from Generation 2. He didn't add any new Pokemon or new Pokemon sprites, which I'm fine with. It probably doesn't have physical special split, but I've been playing with that my whole life. I understand how that works. That's going to ruin it for some people, but it's a Gen 2 hack. What the fuck do you expect? I like Pokemon Bronze. If you're gonna vote what Thundershot's pulling for, you vote Pokemon Bronze. But if it's not what you want to see, don't vote for it. Again, I'm gonna be happy with anything. I probably will play Pokemon Bronze eventually, though, because I really like the way that one looks. The next one is one that a lot of images didn't load for me, but it appears to be a Gen 4 hack. It's called Pokemon something Raptor. Where the fuck is it? It's just Pokemon Raptor version, okay? I've got a few screenshots here, but it doesn't really tell me a lot because most of the screenshots I had are broken. It looks like a Gen 4 hack. Gonna give you a little lowdown on the story. It starts with a scene where Steven, who I'm guessing is Steven from Gen 3, is teaching you about battling with Pokemon. When you finish learning, you're asked for choosing a Pokemon from the Sinnoh League, a starter Pokemon from the Sinnoh League. Then you have to defeat all the gym leaders, collect badges, until you meet Team Hunter, that is led by 16 trainers, which is known as the Chaos 16. They try to collect plates from legendary Pokemon to summon the god of Pokemon, Arceus. It's another game that kind of has Arceus in it. Glaze didn't revolve around Arceus, but this one looks like it might. Adventurous and interesting storyline happen when you try to stop them from summoning Arceus. You have to face challenges, defeat enemies, and save the world. Seems pretty decent. Still got the standard 8 gym badges. Still looks like it's got the I don't see anything about an Elite Four, but that's what the Chaos 16 looks like. Once again, I don't have a lot of images on the map, and that kind of worries me. I might be able to find some. There's a couple videos on it, but I don't have a lot of images on the map or what it looks like. It would have to be a new region, I would assume, but he doesn't give a whole lot of information. Gen 4 hack would be interesting and probably be a pain in the ass for me to set up, but if I had more information on it, I'd probably be more keen to go for this one, just because it's not Gen 3, and that's kind of what it draws me to it a little bit. Coming up next is Pokemon Outlaw. To kind of give you a lowdown on Pokemon Outlaw, he's changed the starters, but Pokemon Outlaw is Fire Red in a lot of regards. He said he just kind of took Fire Red and alternated it a little bit. He cut out some of the extra parts, or some of the parts that he didn't like. Like, he didn't like Mount Moon or the Viridian Forest, so he just cut those out of the game. He's modified Pokemon Outlaw. He said he kept everything in Pokemon Red that was there that he liked, and he changed some of the stuff that he didn't. The map's a little bit different. Kanto, you're in Kanto, but it's like a rundown Kanto. Like, there's projects and there's crime rates and stuff like that. And you're an outlaw. You don't like the police. You don't like the bad guys. You don't play by anybody's rules. So the story mode's kind of interesting. The thing about this one is that apparently there is a lot of cussing and a lot of dirty jokes in this, or just crude humor jokes maybe that might be funny. I would hope they would be funny. They're going to be shock factor. They're going to get you. Doesn't have any Pokemon up to Gen 3. I'm assuming there's no physical special split because this guy seems relatively new or not crazy familiar with hacking, or at least he didn't put as much time into the hack as a lot of other people did, which is fine. It's a simple hack, but it's essentially just, from the way I understand it, it's a lot like Fire Red, but he changed the dialogue, and he changed the starters, and he changed the story, but it's still Fire Red in Kanto, sort of. There's no extra, like, triple island where you went to go get Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno from Fire Red. I'm pretty sure he cut those out also, but it seems decent, and it's kind of like if you want to get Fire Red with a twist. That's essentially what it is. And also, like I said, the crude humor, and a different story for Fire Red, and new starters. I don't know what they are, though. He didn't list them, and he doesn't want people... Yeah, I don't want to know what the starters are. But that's Pokemon Outlaw. To move on, now we have Pokemon Sweet version. I talked about hating made-up Pokemon, but maybe you guys can fill me in. It appears that this person just took Pokemon Fire Red, and I might be wrong on this, but it looks like this guy just took Pokemon Fire Red and went crazy with it. I should be showing screenshots on screen now, but he just took Pokemon Fire Red and he just made everything fucking candy. The world, the Pokemon, the buildings, the moves. He just made fucking everything candy. Like, it looks like all the Pokemon are the same. I'm assuming their stats would be the same, but now they're goddamn candy. I don't know how else to explain it, but this is essentially a from the way, I don't know if he changed the story or not. Maybe you guys who have played it before can fill me in. It looks sweet. This is Pokemon Sweet version, and it's just Pokemon Fire Red with fucking candy, and it's so out there that I don't know, it's on the list, you know? And then the last one, oh wait, no, I'm not gonna, alright, never mind. The last one I'm looking at is an incomplete hack, but it's one that I want to play when it comes out. It's a Pokemon Generation 1 hack called Great, but that one's not on the list. It's not a completed hack, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to bring it up. Couple hacks I don't have on this list. Snakewood. I played Snakewood on my own time. I fucking hated it. Pokemon Brown. Pokemon Brown is apparently a really good Generation 1 hack that I want to get to someday. It just didn't make this list. I don't know. Well, yeah, I haven't looked into Brown enough to know for sure. But maybe the next time we do one of these, it will be on the list. Or maybe I'll play it sometime soon. But it's like the best Pokemon Gen 1 hack ever. And pretty much everybody agrees in unison on that one. And then lastly, Pokemon Light Platinum is apparently, like, if Game Freak had made another game and called it Pokemon Light Platinum, everyone would have believed it. Like, I don't know. It's like the hack is apparently just another Pokemon game. I think it might be a whole new region, 8 badges, Elite Four. Like, you would have thought Game Freak made it with how good it is. But to me, it seemed, although different because Glazed was out there, it seems so similar to Glazed and so good that I didn't want to play two really, really, really amazing hacks back to back like that. At least not ones that I knew were really, really good. But it and Glaze seems so similar and so awesome that I was going to space out Light Platinum from when I played Glaze. So I'm going to save Light Platinum for another time, knowing it's a really, really good hack. But that's another one that didn't make the list. Other than that, I have rambled on for so long. This video is so long. I've explained all the hacks. All the links to those are in the description down below if you want to check them out. And then vote. You're going to be allowed to vote more than once. So if there's like one hack that you don't want to see, but you like all the others, then you vote for every hack except that one hack. Or if there's only three hacks you really like, you can vote for those 3 hacks, but it is multiple choice on the voting in the straw poll. Be sure to vote in the straw poll down below for the next Pokemon hack. That's going to wrap it up for me. When I think guys coming out, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Thundershot. I'm out. Peace, late. See ya.